Tamara Tamu here. Welcome back to another episode of Unleashed Alchemy. Where on this channel, we focus on you stepping into your sovereignty so that you can bring heaven on earth. All right. So listen, I want to do something a little bit different in this video. So I want to talk about the feeling of newness and being renewed, and how when you are stepping into your sovereignty, you're stepping out of the programming of religion, and you're stepping into the fullness of who you are as a cosmic being. There is a renewed feeling and a complete newness that you feel in your identity. And I want to remind you to celebrate that on your journey. Celebrate that on your path. The reason why I'm telling you this is because when I was in the process of deconstructing from religion, I forgot to celebrate that I was stepping into more of who I am. I started to focus on the years that I spent, okay, wrong word to use, but the years that I thought that I spent in church, not knowing who I was, allowing myself to be bound by doctrine and by dogma. I thought that I wasted my time. And the more that I focused on what I thought I lost, I forgot to celebrate my renewed identity as a sovereign being. I forgot to celebrate the newness of looking at things completely different, having my heart opened, having my intuition on point again, having my eyes open so to where I could view things through the lens of higher consciousness and not through the lens of programming. So to do that, as part of this video, what I'm going to do, I'm going to read to you a section of my book that's called Tales of a Money Maven: How Religious and Other Programming Has Fucked Up Your Money. Now, the backdrop of this book is about money, and I use money to talk about religious programming because, first of all, money we all understand, okay? And I love talking about money, okay? I don't know about you, but I love talking about money. But I use money to show how religious programming of any kind, affects and it infiltrates every single part of our lives, because programming negatively affects our identity, and our identity is at our nervous system level. Okay, that's why it affects every single part of our lives. So I'm going to read to you from my book. It's part 4, Tales of a Money Maven. You can get it at my website. It is an ebook. It's unleashedalchemy.com is where you can buy this book. Again, it's ebook form. So as soon as you buy it, you'll get it dropped into your email. So I'm going to read to you this. It's part 4. I'm starting from page 163. So I want you to listen to this. Many people develop a spiritual practice to get something tangible or to find relief from difficulty. That was my original intent. Since I was still unaware that a more liberated way of life had been available to me long before my inception, I busied myself with working more jobs and busied myself with more things to do. So when I had no more jobs, I stopped running and faced my limited beliefs and habits that needed to be incinerated to move into the next version of myself. However, a profound awakening reveals and yields much more than one can anticipate. Surrendering to a spiritual breakthrough produces positive shifts in your spirit, soul, heart, consciousness, resulting in a spiritual revolution in your life. Your internal illumination triggers the same illumination for your external to change. Spirituality teaches us to go within. Our logical mind will remind us of what has been done in the past by us, family members, community, and society, therefore showing us nothing but physical limitations in all directions. When we engage with our soul again, we step into a portal showing us the power we can operate from while still being grounded on this physical plane. We become aware that our job is not to focus on the outside, but to upgrade our internal world, which will cause the outer world to conform to our identity. When you embrace that truth, you understand that you don't need to search for anything external. Everything you need is within you, perfectly intertwined in your DNA, wrapped in mysteries waiting to be unleashed. Let your courage outweigh your fear so that you can tap into those mysteries that will magnetize your life in magical ways. As we enhance our spiritual health, our intuition amplifies, connecting us with our ascended guides and allies. This connection empowers us to live a life of freedom, purpose, and fulfillment. Importantly, our spiritual health doesn't just benefit us, it impacts those around us, shaping the world. This book is not about saving the world, but about understanding that when we tap into our power, the world can't help but be positively influenced. We are not separate from the cosmos. We are an extension of it, and our spiritual growth echoes throughout the universe. The source that carries opulent creative substance is in your DNA. Source only knows infinite abundance and prosperity, therefore plenty of all that is perfect is inherently yours. To live in this new identity goes beyond religion and goes beyond just reading about spirituality. It involves integration, recognizing programming, and observing your feelings. Keep in mind that observing your emotions does not push you out of alignment with your soul. You can feel fear. You can feel disappointment. You can feel agitation, sadness. Yet the question remains, and you will always have the answer: who am I? I am infinite wealth embodied. The I am causes external circumstances to conform to what you command on the other side of I am. After identifying programming and behavior links in your life, the ego will bring up thoughts that suggest you have wasted your life and that somehow you have missed out on years because you hadn't embraced the infinite consciousness within, which can lead to internal shame. The ego measures time into the universal constructs of calendars, looking at a clock, and being hyper-focused on age. When you understand your power, you know time doesn't matter anymore because you transcend it. So that knocks out the belief that your ego will attempt to solidify that you have missed something in your life. Since you are reading this, side note, since you're listening to this, let this be your message that everything is good now and you have missed nothing. Right now, you are stepping into a new dimension. So I just read from my book, Tales of a Money Maven, page 163 through 166. It is available now for you to download as an ebook. Unleashedalchemy.com is where you can buy it. And I wanted to read that to you because, again, like I said, there is newness and there is a renewed feeling that you attain when you're stepping into more of who you are. Remember to celebrate that. Celebrate that. Let that be your focus. Because as I just read, You have not missed anything. Time is on your side because you transcend it. All right? So, unleashedalchemy.com. And until next time, cheers.